Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is Kay Cote, and I'm your host for today's episode. Today, I have Michael Hollman, founder and CEO of MatchDay, as my guest. We're going to be learning about his business, his journey to business ownership, best practices that he's learned, as well as challenges that he's faced on his journey to give you that inside look to what it's like to own and operate a business. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notified when we drop episodes like this. Welcome, Michael. So great to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you all for having me.
Of course. Well, before we get into all things business, I'd love to learn a little bit about you. So feel free to share about a bit about yourself.
Not much to share. I was a trained lawyer, did the corporate law thing for a decade almost, and then transitioned into the more entrepreneurial space on the back of a good run as a corporate lawyer, but was wanting something that was my own, and got out of the country for a little while and came back and launched MatchDay. So here we are.
Amazing. Well, I'm very curious. Where'd you head to?
I was in Barcelona for a year and a half. That was like my home base, but we were moved around quite a bit while we were over there. For it was with a educational program over there, so we had projects throughout Spain, France, and Italy while we were there. So it was a really enjoyable experience.
That's incredible. I actually studied abroad in Spain myself. So
Right on.
super cool. Yeah, Barcelona that was amazing. Yeah, I love the
Yeah,
architecture, the
it's a great city.
cathedral.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a very very easy place to call home.
100%. Oh, well, very cool. Well, I'm excited to kind of learn how you went from being in corporate law to launching the company you have now. So, because it's very different. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, share a little bit about that experience and then a bit about the company.
big pivot. The legal skills obviously help you save on the legal costs that go with starting any business, but basically enjoyed the run as a commercial transaction lawyer for a while. And then when COVID hit, was able to be sort of internationally based because no one was in office. And while I was in Spain, I picked up a master's in football business, which gave us exposure to, well, one, I met somebody that helped me launch MatchDay, Miguel, my sort of partner in crime with that. And then we encountered a problem with, we were both coming from different countries, and we encountered the issue of having access to playing the sports that we love, but on our terms without having a pre-existing friend group or something like that, or player community to jump into. And in Barcelona, there was a sort of like an unspoken product that existed where you could show up at certain fields at certain times and know that there would be games. And we just thought about the best way to bring that product to the US and sort of Americanize it by adding a video component to it. So we host and organize pickup sports events, and we take on all of the burden of what goes into being able to play a sport for the people that are playing so that they can just focus on showing up and enjoying the playing experience.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. I'm sure there's so many people that are just utilizing this opportunity to work with y'all too. So that's amazing. So when did you say you started the company? What year was it?
We started the business 3 years ago, but we launched the product 2 years ago in Austin.
Okay, I'm just taking a couple notes.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, very cool. And now are you like serving the Austin area, or how far is your reach with
Yeah, so we were exclusively in Austin for the first year, and then in the second year we launched to Houston, and then 2 months ago we launched in San Antonio, and next month or the month after we'll be launching in Dallas, Fort Worth area. So Austin's grown quite a bit. Obviously, it's like in each one of these cities that you have multiple communities and multiple townships and cities effectively. So in Austin, we do run matches in Pflugerville and Round Rock, and have done in Leander as well, and started stuff in South Austin, but Austin, sorry. So yeah, so Austin's grown out into the suburbs, And then we have a core product that's mainly focused on that central Austin area as well in South Austin. So we've kind of got a very solid footprint there, which is,
Mhm.
our home base and, our home city.
Oh, very cool. Well, congrats on the expansions as well into
Of
different parts
course.
of Texas. That's
Thank you.
awesome. And like kind of looking at your team, you must have a team behind you that you've developed over the years. Would love to learn about your team. How
Yeah.
many team members do you have currently? And what's your team cult or your I guess your team culture like?
So the best thing about our team is that almost all involved have come from our player community. So the people that valued our product, that understood the product's value and the opportunity within the product, were the people that were using it. And they would just sort of start pulling a thread with us about having an interest in collaborating with us in one way or the other. And we would have them come on, to help whatever avenue we needed help with at the time. With a startup, there's always something that someone can be doing. And it's a very much all hands on deck mentality is the culture. We try not to be too territorial over our scopes, but also making sure that we have an articulate delegation of scopes. And in doing so, gives everyone an opportunity to succeed, but also gives everyone an opportunity to pull from the broader team for help whenever they need it. So very collaborative and iterative, which you have to be as a startup, in my estimation. And yeah, so there's 5 core members of the corporate team, and then we
Mhm.
have 10 match managers in the Austin area who host the matches, and that we all drop in on from time to time, either to play or to oversee or to just help the product along. And then we have a city manager and a few match managers in Houston as well. And in San Antonio, we've got a few match managers and are looking for that city manager role to be filled in the not too distant future. So good team building out, but the corporate side, there's 5 of us that have really, been putting the hammer to the nail for the last couple of years.
Very cool. And are your match hosts, are they full-time employees or are they like more of a part-time thing?
No, it's the match management's definitely a side gig. It's a great way for, like I said, usually those people come directly from our player community, and so they
Mhm.
turn what was a cost center in their lives, which is paying money to exercise or paying money to play soccer, into a profit center in their personal lives, which is now they're going to do something they were going to be doing anyway, and they're making money instead of spending money to do it. So it's just sort of another version or expansion of sort of the gig economy and people establishing side gigs that suit their passions and their interests. And then a lot of times, as people get pulled into that as a side gig, if it resonates with them and they end up with more time, then we'll see if they have anything or would like to contribute on the corporate side and help us move the ship forward, so to speak. So, yeah.
Oh, very cool. And I'm curious to like kind of your demographic, like your clients, like if I were to,
Yeah.
check out one of your games or get involved on like online, how would I know I'd be a good fit for what you're doing?
So, I mean, it's an open door community. So, for us, any skill level from beginner to ex pro, they're all welcome because it's a team sport. What the emphasis that we have and the reason we have a match manager there is to make sure that the teams are evenly balanced. And
Mhm.
so, if one team jumps out to too quick of a lead or something like that, then they'll either jump in and help out the team that's struggling or shift the teams around at halftime or whatever it really needs. But effectively, it's genderless and skill level is not really that much of a consideration either. What we have someone on site to make sure that it's a competitive experience for everyone involved and an enjoyable experience for everyone involved. We do have tailored matches that are either a strict number of male female and a strict number of, or we'll do a full female match, which they, that way they, if there are girls that don't want to deal with playing with larger guys that might be injury prone or something like that.
Mhm.
So we try to adapt to all the player community needs, and whatever the demand is, we will create a game for. But I would say predominantly it's, early 20s to mid 30s, and folks that are somewhat active in the soccer community already make up the bulk of our community. But we have a lot of people that are way outside of that age range,
Mhm.
and that come and play regularly, either as members or on a match by match basis.
Oh, very cool. And like, what are your locations like? Do you rent spaces from like gyms or like facilities, or do you guys have like your own facility?
Yeah, we're very dynamic in our approach to field access. So wherever there's a field, we will do whatever we can to create a relationship so that we have access to that field, so we can help that field owner monetize the hours they're not currently monetizing. So whether that's a school trying to bring in excess income for either scholarship for students from a private school, or if it's a public school trying to just bring more money into the general education pool, or it's a private field that is commercial and they want to make money on the hours that they own the field.
Hmm.
Or if it's Travis County Parks is another one of our big field partners. We are the field partnerships are established across offerings. So commercial fields, public, private schools. And the best way for us usually to establish those relationships is to do everything we can to get a meeting set so that they can understand that our job is to make their field asset more profitable. And if we're doing our job well, that just means more money for them, which is usually something that they want.
Definitely. Well, that's super cool. It's nice to hear that you're like kind of like tapping into so many different opportunities to create
Yeah.
places to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like looking at, your marketing behind your company, how are you getting people aware of who you
Yeah.
are and those opportunities to play?
So we've really honed in our SEO strategy over the last half year or so as we've had a larger footprint and we have more like presence generally in the communities that we're playing in. Word of
Hmm.
mouth is a very, very important part of our growth strategy in the soccer communities that we exist in, because usually if someone comes and enjoys an enjoyable experience, an enjoyable playing experience, they're going to want to share that with the other people that they play with. And that's the easiest way to tap into the pre-existing ecosystems of players.
Hmm.
We also partner with local leagues, and do collaborative tournaments and stuff like that to just get word of mouth out there. But we also will of course always be running Google and Meta ads in the locations that we're trying to bolster, or if we're adding matches to that slate for a specific area, we'll push those a little harder at a specific time, somewhat strategically. And we've just brought on a local to Austin marketing partner as well, that we're really excited about helping us scale up our marketing efforts in the area.
Oh, that's huge. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Marketing is always like one of those things, is kind of like a weird unicorn. It sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but
Yeah,
it's like kind of everybody has their own secret sauce.
for sure. And that we've come to gather that we had to really figure out what worked for us and be very responsive to the things that were, and to always make sure that we gave someone a strategy enough time to pan out, because if you pull the cord on it too quickly, then you don't know if it ever would have worked out better. You just sometimes have to follow your gut on those things, but following the data has been our, North Star effectively.
Amazing. That's so cool. And kind of looking at, I want to take it back to those early years, the first couple
Yeah.
of years. What is something you were challenged with? Like, starting a business is, especially something from scratch, is always, there's so many turns.
So you get sort of peppered from a lot of angles in terms of service providers. So we developed an app, and so we had to vet developers because none of us were. So that was the one of the first steps that we had to do, was being able to evaluate developers and their ability to deliver on our vision for what we wanted our app user experience to be like for our player community. Um, Capital is a constant consideration during a startup, regardless of how much founding capital you come in with, and you hope that that creates a certain runway that you can then prove concept in and get to a profitable window within. Bringing in external capital comes with a lot of perks, but a lot of detractors as well, or not detractors necessarily, but a lot of considerations that come
Mhm.
with taking on external capital, and making sure that you're a good steward of whatever capital you bring in, and are responsive you know, partner to the people that invested in your vision is a significant part of that. The capital consideration for us was fairly straightforward. We were able to execute on our initial pre-seed pretty directly and pretty fluidly. The larger consideration was vetting things like marketing contractors and developer contractors, and a lot of people coming at you from every different angle telling you that they're going to be able to sell you the thing that you need at a time when cash is king. So, all those things were a pretty pivotal part of how we shaped our business. But evaluating who you bring on, either as a partner internally or externally, was a very significant portion of what dictated how things went on a month-to-month basis for us.
Oh, definitely. Well, thank you for sharing about that, because I think that's a golden nugget of this conversation is,
Yeah.
capital. That again looks
Yeah,
so vastly different for different companies.
for sure.
That. Well, now fast forward, I want to look at kind of what's ahead for you. Where do you see the company going in the next 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5, we have a tranche of tier one cities that we'd like to be entirely through by that 3-year period. All sort of, well, domestically rather, that would be that tranche. And we anticipate navigating another raise in the next 12 months for a seed round and becoming, figureheads in the space that we're at. We have several competitors in the space that have taken a different approach to the problem that we all are seeking to solve. And we believe in our approach, and our intention over the next 3 years is to continue to prove that out and prove value for our player communities and grow. I mean, that's the name of the game. There's no rest. So you just got to keep going and keep growing. And that will be every bit of the next 3 to 5 years.
Definitely. I like that. I like that. That's definitely like a good attitude to have, especially as like business owners. We just never know what's gonna hit us. But it sounds like what you're building is super, super cool. And yeah, you're making strides.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for your time. And yeah, it's been a blast. So encourage anyone that has a passion that they're, motivated about to take a stab at it.
Oh, definitely. Before we wrap up, though, I do want to go into one part of the Q&A. It's super fun. It's called our rapid fire questions. So feel free to answer. Very top of mind. We've got 4 questions.
I'll do my best.
All right. Question number 1 is, what is a key to success for you?
Patience.
100%. Number 2 is, what is a piece of advice you have for other business owners?
It's not super rapid fire on this one, sorry. But for other business owners, I would say to try to maintain an even disposition, that the team will get up, the team will get down, the days will be up, the days will be down. Maintain an equilibrium throughout that and enjoy and appreciate the good, but don't let yourself get overly bogged down by the tough days. They'll pass.
Very true. I like that. Number 3 is, it could be a book, a piece of content, like an article or a podcast, anything that you've taken in most recently.
I somewhat religiously listen to the Prof G Markets podcast. And in my early days when we were launching this, Masters of Scale. So yeah, both of those are very good resources and great ways to outsource some of the analytical thinking that goes into day-to-day life. So, and evaluating markets and stuff. So it's those 2 I would say are great lessons.
Awesome. Love a good podcast.
Yeah.
And then the final question is, if you could wave a magic wand and overnight improve one aspect of your business, what would it be?
I mean, it would probably be marketing.
It really is a unicorn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this has been a great conversation. Before we wrap up, let's help you out with that marketing right now. How can folks get involved with your company online?
Find us at playmatchday.com. Download the app in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store at searching Play Matchday, and get active, stay active. Come out and jump into a game anytime. We've got them from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. and in mornings as well, all throughout the Austin area. So come out and join a match, even if you've never played soccer. Come out and give it a shot.
I might have to try that.
Check it out.
Well, final question for the day is, what is most inspiring to you today?
Um, somewhat vague, I suppose, but just passion generally. I played in a tournament this weekend. There were hundreds of people out there that all loved the same thing, and it doesn't have to be the thing we all love, but just having a passion in life makes it a lot easier to make sure that you're heading towards something that you value.
Awesome. I love that. That's such great advice. Thank you again, Michael. This has been a great episode.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.